Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome back to another edition of Violent but True Bedtime Stories. And let me tell you, we've got a special story for you tonight about an ass-kicking former president. You may know him as John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Let's get started. JFK didn't need to serve in the military, but he saw it as his civic duty. He joined the Navy and started out in naval intelligence. During the middle of the Second World War, he got himself transferred to the PT-109. Back then, a PT boat was a sure place to get shot at. But Kennedy said, "Bring that shit on." PT boats were vessels that were built to take on large ships, like destroyers, so it certainly required a scrappy crew to operate them. The idea was that they would quickly maneuver around and get close enough to fire torpedoes, and then get the hell out of there before a large ship could drop the hammer of punishment on them. In August of 1943, the US was fighting the Japanese on the Solomon Islands, and Kennedy's crew was darting around in the middle of the night, looking for a fight. Out of nowhere, the PT-109 was rammed by a destroyer, killing 2 crew members instantly. The destroyer cut straight through the PT boat. The crew was thrown from the boat that was now sinking in 2 separate pieces as the enemy destroyer disappeared into the darkness. They were over 3 miles away from the nearest shore at 2:30 in the morning, and there were wounded to carry back with them. One of Kennedy's men was burned too bad to swim back himself, so John wrapped a strap around him and put the other in his mouth like a bit. He dragged his comrade through the miles of open water like a damn water Clydesdale. Once the men were on the island, they knew they would be exposed by the daylight and that Japanese ships patrolled those waters daily. Kennedy wrote an SOS note on a coconut and passed it to a native to hopefully end up in the right hands. It somehow did, and the Navy found and rescued the crew after 6 days of hiding on the island. He received a Purple Heart and ended his active service as a lieutenant. Years later, he made the jump from LT to Commander-in-Chief and lived happily ever after. For a while. Good night, kids.